Cold calling is one of the major aspects of marketing for any business. We are doing 4 to 5 appointments every single day using our cold calling team, and in this video I'm going to reveal the secret of our cold calling success. I'm going to reveal all the tips and tactics that we are using to make these cold calls. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to talk about 5 tips that you can use to perfect your cold calling strategies. Alright, so without wasting any time, let's dive into the video and let's start. So the first tip is going to be using the right tool. I know this is not too relevant to the topic, but again, if you're not using the right tool, there is something called bad connectivity. You're not going to get hold of a lot of people. It's going to be dead air, voicemails, and a lot of stuff that would happen. So you have to use the right tool to make sure that you are reaching out to the right person. And the best way to ensure that is you are calling to a local phone number. I'm going to link a video, maybe somewhere here. You can go ahead and watch it out. So in this video, I have explained the best cold calling tools, which you can use paid as well as free. So go ahead and watch it out before this video. So you have to call using local numbers, and you have to make sure that your phone number is not flagged as a spam, because most of the time, let's say if you're using one phone number, we are calling using Skype, and what happens, let's say a lot of people have marked you as spam, so your number is going to be reported as a spam, and every time you're going to call someone, it's going to show as a spam or sales call, likely sales call in their phone number, in their mobile phone. So it's going to make them very hard to pick up your phone, and your phone calls will be dropped a lot, and people are going to not pick up your phone call. So that's the biggest thing for us, and we keep a track of all our bad phone numbers, which is marked as spam. We make sure that we are calling from the local phone number. Let's say if we are calling a business in Houston, so we make sure that we are calling from a Houston local number, which increases our chances of getting the phone call picked by the customer or by the prospect by a huge margin. Alright, so make sure that you are using the right tool and the right phone number. Moving on to the second tip, using the right data. Okay, this might not sound a lot more important, but if you don't have the right data to call, you're not going to get a lot of success in cold calling. We've been cold calling for the last 3 years, and we have did some trial and error. We have done a lot of experiments with our cold calling techniques. We have tested out a lot of things, so I'm telling this from experience. You have to use the right kind of data, so your time is not being wasted and you're only calling people who might pick up your phone call, right? So again, cold calling comes down to volume, how many people you have called and how many people you are going to call. That's definitely going to be a huge factor in determining how many people you are booking appointments with. But again, right data is going to get you a lot more ahead in cold calling than let's say if you are using any data from anywhere, right? So the first tip that I would suggest to get the right data is through Facebook leads. If you have some money to spend, you can get some marketing campaign, and Facebook leads are not actually cold leads, but they have a high pickup rate, and you will be getting a lot more calls, a lot more prospects interested than calling a straight cold call. But again, if you don't have the money for the Facebook ads, we still have the solutions for that. So the second tip is purchasing data from verified data vendors, and where you can find these verified data vendors from Fiverr, Upwork, and a lot of other freelancing platforms. So always make sure that you are buying data from a verified data vendor and not from anyone random that you meet on Skype or let's say LinkedIn. Okay, again, this will impact your pickup rate, your your customers or your prospects. That's what we call how many people are picking up your phone call, right? So that's going to hugely impact the amount of people who are going to be picking up your phone call. So make sure that you are using a verified data vendor if you're purchasing data. Purchasing data is obviously cheaper than running Facebook ads, because let's say if you're generating leads for $1, $2, whatever is going to be your cost, you can buy a bunch of data for $100, $200, $300, or even $500. I'm talking about data in thousands, right? And you are going to need phone numbers, you are going to need contacts in thousands if you are to cold call, okay? Because we are making about 500 to 1,000 phone calls every single day with our team. Sometimes we make more phone calls, sometimes we make less, but again, it depends on how many people we can reach out in a day, and from there we are just trying to book appointments as many as we can. And the third tip is scraping your own leads from Google. Okay, so if you don't know how to scrape, if you want to do it manually, call every single business through the Google listing, you can still do that, but there is a very quick and effective way. I have already uploaded a video on that topic, so if you want, you can go ahead and watch it out. I think the link might be in the description somewhere at the top. So in that video, I have talked about how you can scrape your own leads from Google and how you can build a list of leads, okay, to call, list of businesses to call. So that's a very effective video if you're going to watch it and implement. That can, like, you can build your own list and you don't even have to spend money on Facebook leads or leads to buy from data vendors. So whatever, like, works best for you, you can go ahead and do that. Now the third tip is you have to make the person like you based on how you speak, okay, based on your tonality, based on your voice. So let's say you have arranged your tool, you have your data, and now it's time for you to making these phone calls. So a lot of time I have seen, like, guys making mistakes. They have no idea, like, how to, definitely they will use a script to cold call, and I have seen a lot of guys who are making cold calls and not getting a lot of success with it. So first thing that you have to use, I mean, you all, obviously everybody has a good script. You can find a good script online anywhere you want. But the second thing I would say that you have to use a tonality, a sound, which is going to, like, be very hard for the person who is, like, speaking with you say no to, right? Or they have to like you with the first interaction. Because if you are going to sound like, hey John, this is, like, I mean, you cannot be speaking too slow, you cannot be speaking too fast. So what's going to be a good tonality, a good voice? So you can go like this: hey John, it's Mike from Growth Management Studio, how are you doing today? Okay, just simple conversation, nothing, like, too crazy in the first line. Like, you're not going to pitch them your entire business, your entire idea in the first line. You have to obviously speak, or you have to break that ice. You have to see how, like, what kind of person they are. If they are very rude, obviously they're not going to be a good fit for you. So you have to, like, move forward. If they are okay, somewhat interested, like, that's when, like, your skills will come into play. That's when these tips are going to comes into play. Let's say if the person is saying or reacting to what you are saying, okay, if they are a decent person, I hope most of the people are decent if you're going to speak to them over the phone call. So they are going to react with, I'm doing good, who is this, right? Or something like that. Most of the people are definitely going to say, like, I'm good, who is this, or what do you want? And, like, let's say you're also going to encounter a lot of rude people, right? So there are a few things which you can definitely improve. So the first thing that you have to make sure is your communication skills. If you're not from an English speaking country, obviously you are going to have some problem speaking fluently. That's what you have to work on. You have to make sure that you are speaking with good enough decency, and also fluency is not that bad. And then, like, you have to work on your accent a little bit. Like, I'm not saying you have to fake it, or you have to, like, change your accent just to get to that cold call. You have to learn how to speak properly. You can start reading books. I mean, anything that can help you get your communication skills to the point. Because if you're speaking to a person, let's say outside your country, obviously you have to be better with their language, okay? If you're not from English speaking country, you are obviously going to have problems with your speaking skills. And if this is something that you cannot work on, then obviously you should not be cold calling, okay? If you can, like, work on these things, I can promise you one thing, that you will be unstoppable. So the fourth tip is going to be honest and use a really good script, okay? So be honest is that you have to make sure that they know that this is going to be a cold call, and once they are aware, then, like, you can start your pitch. If they want to hang up, they can, like, hang up now, or at least, like, they will be giving you a chance to hear what you have to say. Alright, so we will be looking at our cold calling script. This is basically the script that my team uses. I can give the access of this script to you guys in the description. You can go ahead and use it. It's also in our cold calling free course. So, like, you can still go ahead. That's free actually. So you still go ahead and enroll that in that course and start using this script, and also the other resources that we have at your disposal. So this goes something like this, okay? Mike, hi John. So I'm Mike and John is the prospect. Mike goes like this: hi John, this is Mike, your company name, let's say whatever your company, mass media or whatever. How are you doing today? Okay, and simple normal icebreaker conversation. You have to, like, keep your tonality not very fast, not very slow. You have to, like, make sure that they can understand what you're trying to say. Okay, John will be like, I'm doing good, who are you, or what do you want? There are going to be objections. I'm just, like, using a plain conversation, so that, like, and we'll be focusing on what you have to say, not what they have to say. Second line would be, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a cold call, so before you hang up, can I tell you the reason why I call you, and then you can decide. Once you have told them, okay, this is going to be a cold call, and this is why you called, okay, so they are going to say, most of the people are, like, still going to hang up, but I mean, let's say you don't have to worry about most of the people. You have to worry, you have to work with few people, that are going to say yes. So let's say if John says, sure, what's up? What do you have to offer? Then you go, so John, I checked out your listing on Google and we help solar companies with their client acquisition. So let's say if you work with us, we will take care of your entire marketing from leads to booking appointments, and we are guaranteeing at least 15 to 20 appointments in your calendar every single month, or your money back. Does that sound like a fair deal to you? Okay, so this is a fair deal, to be honest. And if if you can really offer that, I mean, it's going to be very hard for people to at least look into it. So John will say, yeah, it does, but again, how can I trust you, and blah blah blah. So you will go like this, okay, John, before you make any decisions, I want you to talk to a few of our clients first about their experiences. I can share their contacts with you and you can call them or text them. Does this sound fair? Now what you have done here, you are giving them something that they can, you are giving them a list, a reference, businesses just like them. And let's say if you really have businesses just like these, let's say if you have worked with people who can vouch for your business. We have tons of different people who can vouch for us. They are watching us on Facebook, they can vouch us on if someone calls them, and there is a reason why they vouch for us, right? We pay them commissions, referral fees if they vouch for us. So it's not like we are paying them commissions or referrals for speaking about their bad experiences. So let's say if they had a good experience with us, and if they are just being honest and telling about their experience, we can actually get them paid a certain, let's say, percentage of whatever the amount that customer is going to pay, right? So you can figure it out on your own. You can incentivize your clients if they are helping you out with references, indirect or direct, and you can figure it out and probably get them to do something for it. You can figure it out on yourself with your team. But moving on, let's say, so John is not going to say no to that. I mean, there are still few people who will say pass on to that, but still, if John is a fair man, he is going to say, yeah, I can do that, and he will be definitely calling or reaching out to those people, because John obviously wants to grow his business. Now the next thing would be Mike, which is me. Thanks, John. Is it okay if we schedule a time for a quick Zoom call? It's very hard to get a hold of you, and what if you don't pick up my call next time? Haha, just kidding. Okay, so this is just going to be for fun, and you are not just trying to be on the business all the time. This is going to show your human side, and also that you can still crack jokes on cold calls. So John will definitely whatever his response will be, that's fine. Sure, that's fine. We can schedule the call. So even though John haven't spoken to your references, but you're still asking him to commit, so that he can remember that he has committed, and that's when you can, how about Friday 10 a.m. Does that work for you? John would go, I would be busy, or if he agrees, then you can book that time. How about 1 p.m.? Then you'll go all right, I will book you for 1 p.m. Friday, John. Also, I'll be sending you our website where we have our case studies, testimonials of the clients we have already worked with, so that you know a little bit more about our company. Okay, so this is you are giving them more value, you are giving them more to trust, just rather than just plain and simple conversation and having them to book appointments, right? So the more you are going to offer them, the more trust you are going to build them, okay, the more resources that you are going to provide them. Obviously, they are going to be more than happy to work with you after after the sales call. So that's great. John, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for the conversation, and let's catch up on Friday 1 p.m. and then hang up the call. And when you are done, you just do not leave that leave that prospect alone. You just send a text message, an email of thanking him for his time and whatnot, and then you are going to send them reminder text messages, reminder emails before the appointment time and date. So let's say if it's Thursday, you are going to send them a reminder email, reminder text, just to give them a reminder. So these are the little things which are definitely going to help you with your conversions. And let's say even if you're going to book the appointment, you still have to make them join your sales call. Okay, so you can close them, you can offer them your services, prices, or whatever. right? So this is the most important tip out of all the tips, like, because let's say if you can figure out your data part, if you can figure out the tools part, if you can figure out what to say and how to make them stay, then this is the script which I'm using, which my team is using. And if you want, if you think this is a fair script for you, you can still go ahead and implement that in your cold calling strategy. And the last tip is going to be having a tracker so that you can keep track of all your prospect. Okay, so this is where where I have seen a lot of people struggle. They don't track their appointments, their leads properly, their prospects properly. If you don't have any tool, you can still use a basic Google Sheet. Okay, that's the first one. You can use Google Sheets. You can sort list all the names that you have cold called, how many people have booked appointment, how many people have agreed to join, or how many people have joined, how many have closed. Okay, but the best thing would be, I would suggest to get get a Go High Level CRM. If you cannot afford a $97 package, then we are offering a $10 package per month. So you can text me, you can email me, and then I'll be offering them that Go High Level account for $10. So that's something, if you want to consider, you can definitely reach out to me. So Go High Level CRM is going to help you track your progress with the prospects, and it's also super powerful in setting up follow-ups, right? So you don't have to worry about sending them emails manually, right? This is something that you should be automating as much as you can, because once you have done the cold calling, which is the hardest work that you have to do, getting a person on your phone and making them interested, booking an appointment. So now why would you leave other things, which is definitely going to jeopardize all that hard work which we have done. So make sure that you have a proper system set up in place. Once you have spoken to that person, have them in your Go High Level CRM, track their progress, make sure that you are sending them emails, texts on a frequent basis before the appointment. And once they are on your sales call, once you close them, that's probably it. Then you can still go ahead and start working with them. All right, so these are the tips that I hope you find useful, and you can start implementing for your cold calling strategies, techniques. And I hope you like this video. If you do like the video, please drop a comment, press that like button. I'm not asking you guys to do all the kind of cliche YouTube things, but still, if you like the video, please subscribe and do all that you can. And I will see you in the next video. All right, guys, signing out.